to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
This is Omar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. First one of the year with Frank Warren. How are we doing? How's your health?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Thanks, Umar. Yeah, I'm all good. How's your health? You good?
I'm all right, thanks. I only asked that because last time I spoke to you, you had problems with your back and your Achilles. So
Still having problems with my back and my Achilles, but it's better than it was. So I'm slowly but surely getting there.
Okay, well, I take it you will be present at Wembley Arena next weekend, Frank?
I'm determined to be there. Determined.
Okay. Well, someone else is going to need a lot of determination and willpower is Anthony Yarde. We know this is one of the toughest assignments, not just in this division, but in any weight class. He's one of the best pound-for-pound fighters after Beterbiev. Where would this rank, if Anthony Yarde can pull this off, Frank, in terms of a British win ever? Where would this rank?
I think it's up there in the sort of top 4 or 5, no doubt about that. And you know, Beterbiev is the only guy who's got a perfect record: 18 wins, 18 knockouts. Any champion, he's the only one who's got that perfect record. He's unbelievable. You know, he's an unbelievable fighter. You know, quality fighter. But I feel Anthony, I think he's got the power. I think he's got the boxing ability, and he's got the confidence to cause what the bookies would say is an upset. I genuinely think he's got a great chance of winning this fight. It's tough. Don't get me wrong, it's tough. But I wouldn't have made the fight if I didn't feel that he had a chance of winning it.
Do you think his best chances, Anthony's best chances, are early on?
Sorry, say it again.
Do you think Anthony's best chances are early on? Does he have to get this done early?
No, I don't know. I mean, he's a bit, you know, he's a different fighter now. He's more measured. I mean, when you go back to look at the Kovalev fight, I mean, he was in front on all the judges' cards and then went for it. You know, it was like shit or bust. That's what he did. But he was in front anyway, and he basically punched himself out. And I think that was a bit of naivety. That was his, lack of experience and so forth. But he's a different fighter now. But he's got the same power, and he's got a very good jab. He's got speed, and he's got a big heart.
As you mentioned, Beterbiev comes in with a 100% KO record. He's quite an intimidating character as well. But we know Anthony Yarde, he's not fazed by anything. He's been to Russia and fought for a world title before, so that's not going to faze him, is it?
No, it's not. It's not going to faze him. And I mean, I think it's going to be a tremendous fight because they're both powerful punchers. I mean, one's got 100% knockout ratio, and Anthony, I think he's only two fighters that two fights he's lost, and he had, and as you know, in the world champ, he had him all over the place. He was only about 5-10 seconds away from becoming the champion.
What would it mean to you on a personal note? Of course, he nearly did it in Russia. We were all ringside when he nearly pulled off that incredible win over Sergei Kovalev. Didn't quite get there. He started with you as a professional, didn't really have much amateur background, as you always talk about. Started with you from day dot. If he does manage to bag 3 world titles next weekend and cause a shock, what would that mean to you, Frank?
Well, that would have been an amazing journey for him and for me, and for Tunde and James Cook, all the team. It's a really, you know, when you look at where he's at, from a guy who's, as you said, had that such limited experience and what he's learned on the way. I mean, he's a good learner, and he's learned, you know, in the last couple of years, he's seems to me he's more mature mentally, and he certainly has so much self-belief. I mean, really does believe in himself. And if he does it, I'm going to be, well, I can't tell you. I mean, I'll probably be running again, get my leg going and up and jumping and doing somersaults. And I hope I am, because he's a lovely fella, and I really like to see him do it for him and his family. He's had, a lot of people have had tough times and whatever, and he had a very awful time when losing members of his family through COVID and so forth. So I hope that this will be a success story. We've done everything we can to win, and he's got to look at fighters in the past that have gone and done it. You know, like Danny Williams going knocking over Mike Tyson, looking at big underdog when he went out to fight Deontay Wilder Tyson when he went out there the first time and the second time and done the job. Joe Calzaghe, Jeff Lacey, Costa Zoo, Ricky Hatton, Frank Bruno, Oliver McCall, they all did it, and they were all big underdogs.
Well, yeah, that's live on BT Sport next weekend at Wembley Arena. On the undercard, much talked about professional debut of Moses Itauma. The hype started. We had a press conference for him, obviously, last week where he was talking to the media. Yeah, a good talker, but an excellent fighter from what we hear. And yeah, professional debut next Saturday. We look forward to it.
I certainly do. I mean, I've looked at we've been sponsoring him for a couple of years now. And I know he's been around sparring with most of the top heavyweights in this country, and all the reports back from everyone has been like, been glowing about him. And if you look at him, he was only 18 in December, and you think he was sparring with some of the guys when he was like 16. And yeah, I think these are mature men and big guys, and to be in there and getting their respect says a lot about him. And if you look at you go on YouTube and you look at this last year's European and World Championships. I mean, the European, which he won, he knocked the four guys out in the first round to win the title. And I think the second year Worlds knocked two out. I think put one on the floor, and the other one went to won the dismissals, but well won the fights. So he's a bit of a, I think he's a really, really good prospect. What I've seen of him, I love it. And I said that, I know, a few years ago with Daniel Dubois, when same thing in the heavyweight division. And this boy's got has done more as a junior amateur than Daniel's done. And I've got to tell you something. I think he's ultra special. I think we're blessed at the moment with his heavyweight talent, and he is something a little bit special.
Your son Francis, who manages him, believes that he can break the record, Mike Tyson's record, and become the youngest heavyweight world champion ever. Do you share that sentiment, Frank?
Well, time will tell with that. I mean, it's in the pace you put him at. As much as he can punch, he can box. He's also a young man, and what we don't want to do is burn him out. But he said to me, Moses, that's what he wants. That's where he wants to be, and so we'll see. We'll put him on that path, and we've got to do it. And obviously be focused on him developing as a professional fighter. But I've got to tell you something. He is. I think he's something a little bit special. Well, I know he's a little bit special. There's no doubt about that. So much so. I mean, Francis, who's been at Queensbury with us for God knows how many years now. He's gone off and doing his own thing in management, and I think he's got a gem there. He's got an absolute diamond gem, whatever you want to call it. He is something special, and I hope what we've seen as him as an amateur will translate over to the professionals, because he looks like a pro, and he acts like a pro, and he's got a good mindset.
Someone else who acts like a pro and has been doing so very well is Carol Itauma, his older brother, who's also on the next weekend live on BT Sport, fighting for his first title, WBC international title. So it's a big moment for Carol next weekend.
It is for the family. I mean, he comes from a tremendous background as well. He won the youth Olympic gold medal, and he's done everything that's been asked of him. I thought he boxed extremely well last time out, and this is his first title fight, and I'm hoping it's going to be the first of many. So the two brothers are on the bill, and that's going to be, that's going to be great for the pair of them. But he's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter, Carol, and I think he's going places.
And as chief support, you've got a WBA flyweight world title fight between Dalikian and Jimenez. What are we expecting from this one, Frank?
I think it's going to be again, it's a quality fight. The Ukrainian is obviously with Alex, who's with Usyk. So it's all part of this relationship that we're building and helping to to get us over the line with the big heavyweight fight. But it's great that it's on the card, and I mean, we're all looking forward to it. Two world title fights on the show, and it's on BT on the subscription channel.
That is next weekend. Let's talk about this weekend, because you have actually got a fighter in action on Sky Sports box office. Chris Kongo obviously takes on your guy Essuman. There's been a lot of needle in this one, Frank. Back in Echo all the way.
Of course I am. I mean, he's done brilliantly, hasn't he, since he's turned pro? He's done everything that's been asked of him, and it's a tough fight. But they won the purse bid, and that's part of boxing. Sometimes you go and fight on somebody else's show, but he's more than capable of winning that fight. It's a tough fight, but he's more than capable, and my money's on him.
Okay. Quickly, do want to get your thoughts on the main event as well. Obviously, two fighters that you know very well. Fond memories with Liam Smith you had. Maybe not perhaps the same with Chris Eubank Jr. What are you expecting from this one between Liam and Chris?
I think it's on paper, it's a competitive fight. What, 133, 130, I think Liam's 34 now, isn't
34.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're obviously for that weight division, they're obviously older. I think Liam's got the better resume. He's fought at a higher level. He's been in with better quality fighters than Chris Eubanks Jr. has been. Chris Eubanks Jr. has been touted for God knows how many years now as being a prospect. I mean, he's 33. By now, his dad had been retired and had like 19, 20 title fights. I just think, although he's coming up a weight, I think that Liam has the capability to beat him with his experience, and he's a good puncher.
Okay, we shall see this weekend. Frank, Ariel Helwani, obviously respected journalist in combat sports, put out a couple of days ago that he believes a deal has been done for the 25th of February in Saudi Arabia between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. So what can you tell me?
I'm hoping we'll have an announcement soon. But until it's done, it's not done.
Okay, but Tommy's in camp and preparing. Do you know that?
Yeah, I mean he's been training, and his wife, that was his partner was having a baby. So obviously he's got lots of things on his mind. But this is, he's got to get. If we get this over the line, he's got to get out there and show what he's all about. Tommy, this means it's been going on for a long, long time now, and there's a lot of anticipation. Everybody wants to see the fight, so that's great. And Jake Paul, I think, is a tremendous promoter and done brilliantly for himself and all what he's selling himself. And he's obviously taken out a proper boxing license now. He's now a licensed boxer. So if it's done, it's going to be, it's obviously going to draw a lot of eyeballs. That's for sure.
Okay, look forward to it. In terms of his older brother Tyson, did you have a positive response on the first draft contract that you sent to Usyk's team?
Now we're at the moment we are quite. I think we'll be quite close to announcing this. I mean, it's just. I'm not going to go into the details, but there's been a few little things that we've had to sort out. Not disputes or anything, just working out really where the site is going to be, and that's really it.
Okay, so from what you're saying there, the offers that you were expecting from the Middle East, they've actually materialised?
No.
Okay, so we could still see this at Wembley.
Well, that's if it doesn't move, that's where it'll go. I mean, it's as simple as that. But we've got to, the boxers obviously want to make the most they can from this fight, and I can understand that. And so we've got to respect their wishes and wait and see what happens. I'd love it to be at Wembley. I mean, I think could you imagine the atmosphere and so forth? I'd love it to be there, but we're just sitting waiting. But we'll not be waiting too long. I think I hope within the next 5-7 days, we will know where we are.
Okay, perfect. All right. Any updates on Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois?
Joe will be fighting in April, and Daniel will be out late April, maybe early May. That's where we are. We're quite close to announcing Joe's fight.
Okay, brilliant. Well, you did announce Feb 17th. You're going back to York Hall.
Yeah.
David Adley and Mark Chamberlain. I know tickets are on sale for that as well. So, yeah, big moments for them headlining that card, Adley and Chamberlain.
It is. They get good exposure. I mean, we're all looking, they will get great exposure on that. And David's done everything that's asked of him. This is his first title fight. He's 10-0 fighting a guy who's also 10-0, so it's going to be interesting. And Mark, he's an excellent fighter, and again, he's eager. And I think this year both of them are going to be involved in big fights. That's what we're moving for, providing they get through York Hall.
Just to mention as well, Henry Turner defending his WBC international title, which he won in Dubai a couple of months back, and your favourite Royston Barney-Smith on the card as well.
Yeah. So it's a good card. It's a nice little card, that, and I'm looking forward to it. So, we're quite busy. We're kicking off the year with a massive fight. No one can complain about that one. It's a big show, and we're putting together some really big fights that we will be announcing, over the next few weeks, with all these heavyweights and other fighters. So we're in a pretty good position at the moment, and I think the fans are going to, hopefully, and I'm sure they will, like what we're going to announce.
Okay, well, it sounds like a couple of press conferences involving two Furies are coming our way. So confident, finally, before we close off, Frank, those two fights that we talked about, Jake Paul and Tommy Fury, and Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, confident that those fights can get made and the fans will see them.
Yeah, I think all parties want to get it over the line, as I said earlier, and I am confident. Yeah, I'm very confident.
Frank, thank you very much for your time. I'll see you next week. Hopefully, when you can make it to Wembley Arena, God willing.
I will. I'm good. Whatever happens, I'm going to hobble there.
Okay, we'll hobble your way there. I'll see you there. All right. Thank you.
All right. All the best. Thanks, Umar.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.